Greetings. My name is Dawn Marie Alexander Borsico, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. We're going to talk about identity crisis. I don't know about you, but I've noticed a lot of people these days demanding that we accept them, demanding that we accept other people's ideas and thoughts and feelings. And I'm wondering, why is it? Why are so many people needing this validation, approval of others? Now, we know that in our society, or even as individuals, there's something called self-determination theory. People need three things. They need to feel autonomy. They need to feel as though they are relating well with others, and they want to feel competent. But where does this desire to seek approval come from that is causing people to just demand crazy things? I was listening to a news program a few days ago, and somebody was upset because of the emojis, and they were offended of the emojis. And I was like, why? Where have we become? What have we become in our society? So I thought about tap it, own it, and be it. When we become comfortable in our skin, when we become very satisfied with who we are, when we have made a decision that we like purple penguins or wearing pink or purple hair, that's okay, but somebody else may not. So how do we drive ourselves to rid ourselves or grow through this identity crisis of knowing who we are, of the validation of others, the approval seeking, even if it is subconscious? Well, again, the three ways that we're going to do that is to tap it, own it, and be it. We need to go back and tap into where did we find that first place where being who we are felt uncomfortable. When we were trying to please others and get that validation, it usually results when we were children. You know what I mean? When we were trying to fit in with our family. Maybe it was a teacher that made you feel a certain way, or being a part of a group when you were young and who you were was not accepted. That's one of my stories. I'm a talker and I love being a little extra sometimes. And that was frowned on. It wasn't bad. It was just my personality. So I ended up growing up wondering, well, what do I do? What's right? I had a sense of low self-esteem because I did not know who I was. But when I began to tap it, when I began to tap into when did I first begin to feel a certain way or recognize that who I was wasn't accepted, who I was put down, I was able to then at that moment say, okay, I see where that root is coming from. I see where it got in, that negative thought got in. And then once I did that, I could put truth on that and say, well, that wasn't wrong. That was just different. It wasn't bad. It was just my uniqueness. And then once we do that, we have to own it. Like I said, pink, purple hair, whether you want to wear polka dots or something like that, whatever it is, whether you sing too loud or you think about what it is. Once we decide, hey, this is who I am. This is my identity. This is it. And usually it's not in anything exterior, but it's in who we are as people. And then we have to be willing to own it. So after we've tapped into to find the root of the problem, the error that got in, now we have to make a decision to own who we are. Like I said, I'm a talker, okay? I love to talk. I'm a great conversationalist with most of my friends. But sometimes I have to recognize that not everybody wants to talk. But that doesn't make me a bad person. I no longer have to acquiesce to something that I'm not or to look for approval. I just have to own who I am and be okay with that. And then there are times where I will make concessions. For example, I know I'm a talker. Maybe I'll text someone and say, hey, I don't want to talk, but I just don't answer your voicemail. Don't pick up the phone. Just listen to your voicemail. I own who I am. I'm glad about who I am. And I don't acquiesce to anything else anymore. So again, tap, reflect, Tap into that root and then own it. Don't look for anybody else to approve of what you do. Be confident in what you do. Be confident in who you are. Be confident in your decisions, owning it. And not only owning that, but owning the consequences, the good and the bad. Own it. Don't expect anybody else to do it. Don't make excuses for it, but walk in your boldness, walk in your uniqueness, walk in your power, and own it. That's the beauty of being who you are. Nobody else is like you. And then after that, you're going to be it. What does that mean? Be who you be. Become the person that you want to become without anyone else's approval. As I said, having a great deal of motivation, or the root of motivation, comes in 3 areas: competence, relatedness, and autonomy. And that autonomy is what we're talking about today. It's really being able to ground yourself in who you are. And once you do that, you will relate well with, relate better with others, because you're confident in who you are. And then you'll find that competence in who you are, because you're going to embrace you and no longer look to acquiesce or fit in with others. So what are we going to do to deal with that identity crisis, where we're no longer looking for the approval of others? Or even when we do and we feel like, oh, why did I do that? We can go, oh, okay, I recognize that. Let me put some truth on that. Let me go back and now embrace who I am, embrace the consequences, again, owning it, embrace all sides of it, and then be. Walk boldly in who you are, walk boldly in what you've been called to do. Others are not always called to do that, but you'll find your tribe. You don't have to look for others to always celebrate you, but you're going to walk in your confidence to be who you've been called to be. These are things that I have found in studying behavior that really make a difference. Okay, we want you to find your identity in your authentic self. So you're going to tap into the root that has caused you to maybe feel a certain way. And then once you recognize where that came from, you're going to own who you are. And you're going to own the positives, the negatives. You would have thought it through. And then you're going to walk boldly in your power to be your unique, authentic self. So I hope this encourages you guys today. I hope you find some hope and positivity in this, because you are created to be the only you that you were created to be. And I'm glad to be able to share this with you today. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to being with you again soon.